Thanks, Ara, and to the department for your opening statement. The tenants in situ has worked spectacularly well for anyone who has been able to avail of it. I want to commend Dublin City Council for having piloted it a number of years ago. I want to really welcome the fact that it has been put on a permanent footing with the department. The numbers that are there, you know, they talk about numbers of houses, but they don't reflect actually the number of individuals who avoid homelessness as a consequence of the house being acquired. And the fact that it's been extended to the affordable cost rental tenancies is very welcome, but the numbers are significantly lower. I read from your statement there. And I'm just wondering if you can, Minister, talk to how you see that progressing, how the department sees that progressing and scaling up. We still have an affordability crisis, notwithstanding the significant funding that's going into the delivery of affordable homes to purchase and to rent. But from a Dublin City perspective, where we already have a very high percentage of rental tenancies, private rental tenancies, the tenant in situ is an incredibly valuable scheme in terms of adding security of tenure, adding real permanent homes to people who have been renting for a long period of time, who are embedded in those communities of children going to school and family and all of that. So if you could, Minister, just talk about the extension of and the scaling up of the affordable cost rental tenant in situ, and just also can you give us an update on the situation with Dublin City Council in terms of, obviously, Colleen Riley has stepped aside and the replacement of a head of housing for Dublin City Council, what that process is looking like.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Senator. Just look, the purchase of tenants in situ has been very successful so far, I think, by any fair estimation. What we're looking at probably, and I'll give you the most up-to-date figures I have, we've over 800 sales actually concluded completely. Okay, so that's not just sale agreed, that's closed. And then we have about approximately another 1,300, where we've 1,300 that are basically sale agreed and going through the conveyancing process. Now, we don't, obviously, there's a conveyancing process and that happens. So I'm projecting this year that we could spend in the region of about 300 million on the tenants in situ piece, and that's for the HAP and RAS tenants, people who are on the social housing list. I do intend to extend it into next year, okay, and that's my intention that we would do that. In relation to cost rental tenants in situ, as you know, I've made changes to cost rental in general, 66,000 for Dublin net income, 59,000 elsewhere, and we brought in the STAR, the secure tenancy affordable scheme that's in place now. That will that's going to unlock a lot more cost rental right across our city. So that's actually happening. But to answer your question about the number of cost rental cases, it's actually a little bit more than you would have seen in the opening statement. So we've about 139 cases in play at the moment across 29 local authorities, and that's for cost rentals, people above the social housing limits. We were estimating we'd spend about 10.25 million on cost rental in this piece. I would expect we'd spend about 24 million on cost rental alone under this specific scheme. So there's about 100.
Sorry, I have to interrupt.
Yeah, okay.
Because
someone else will come in.
3 minutes left, so I'd like to